everybody. Hi out there. It's Julianne Lichty from Actors Acting from All Angles. Welcome. Oh, Soren's here. Hi, Soren. How are you? So excited to hear. I'm sorry we're a little bit late today. I had some technical issues, but we are back in business. So I'm really excited for you guys to be here. Stephen Haar is here. Hi, Stephen. Very excited. We're going to be talking about resumes today. Very practical, but very important. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Julianne Lichty Stratton. I am the creator of Actors in Action Professional Acting Conservatory, where we train actors to do their best work and develop a fail-proof process so they can do their best work in any audition or booking or callback. And it's really, really fabulous. Check us out on www.actorsinactionclass.com. Let's dive in. Super excited for this. I have to grab a couple things off my printer. 1 second. We're going to be talking about resumes, as I said. Some of you may be like, I don't know how to put a resume together. What's the right format? How do I do this? If I live in New York, is it different than if I live out in LA? What are the intricacies of resumes? I'm going to answer as much as I possibly can for you with this. If you live in New York, you're going to do your resume slightly differently than you do if you live in LA. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about format. We're going to talk about what kind of font to use. And we're going to talk about that question I get a lot. What do I do if I don't have anything to put on my resume? We're going to talk about that. So I'm going to start off with sending you a link. If those of you are on a computer, if you want to get on this link, it's a link to my website. And it has 4 different documents in it for resumes. One is a resume template. We'll talk about that later. Another one is an example of a New York resume. Another one is an example of a LA resume. I have printouts of those right here too. And that's the New York resume. This is the LA resume. It also has a printout of some resume essentials. So those are some nice guides that you can look at for putting your resume together. The big difference between a New York resume and an LA resume is New York puts theater first. So we've got our theater, we've got our film and television, we've got our training and our special skills. And in LA, you put film and theater, film first, film, television, or film and television. Industrials, generally speaking, you don't put industrials, but you can, and then theater. And this woman also has hosting, so these are things that she's hosted, which could be good. She's got education and training and skills. If you live west of the Mississippi, you're going to want to do an LA resume. If you live east of the Mississippi, you're going to want to do a New York. Except for in Atlanta, you probably want to do a LA resume with film and theater first, film and TV first, and then theater. Ooh, I'm getting some love here. Yay! Oh, I thought somebody was asking a question. So you can certainly ask questions. Please ask me questions if you want to know. In Atlanta is like little Hollywood nowadays. They're doing a lot of film, a lot of TV out there, tons and tons. In fact, I was talking to some friends from New York a while ago. I was out there and we chatted and they were talking about how New York just doesn't do as much film and TV as it used to do because it's all moving to Atlanta. There's still film and TV definitely in New York, but New York's much more concentrating on a theater town. So that's what you want to do for that. So I live out in Utah. So my resume has film and television first, and then I have theater, and then I have training and special skills. Now, the document I'm going to give you that you can copy from my website is pretty much my resume, just in Word format. You can just type your stuff in for that. So as you can see, I have the outpost. I have what the show was. I have what I was a guest star, and I have the name of the character. Then I have the production company, and sometimes you can put, like right here, I have Rob Reiner on there. He's the director. So I have Hallmark Channel, I have Amy Cannon Man, I have the Discovery Channel, BYU, director Sylvia Agave, Illyrium Productions. So you want to make sure you have things formatted in a very a very consistent way. So the title, your character, if it was a lead, if it was a guest star, if it was supporting, and then either the production company or the director. If the director is super well known, definitely put them in there. So that's how you do it really consistently. So for theater, you put the show, the name of the show, Zombies from the Beyond, your name of your character, Mary Malone, and where it was performed, the theater. So this was an off-Broadway theater in New York City. This was a Paper Mill Playhouse, so you'll put where Pioneer Theater Company, you put the name of the theater that it was performed at. So it's pretty basic with that. Now, I know this might sound pretty basic, but a lot of people don't know the basics of resumes, which is why we're going to do this, why we're doing this today. So then we have training. Now you can see right here, I have a BFA in acting from the Goodman School of Theater at DePaul University. So I put that there. New York, I studied a ton. I did Circle Rep. I had some classes at the Juilliard School. I didn't actually graduate from Juilliard or attend Juilliard's acting school, but I had classes there. And then London Theater Exchange, I've studied there. Los Angeles, Playhouse West, the Meisner Technique, I studied with Jeff Goldblum. I also studied some other places. I didn't put every place I study on here because some of the things I just didn't think were that important. Special skills. Now people ask about special skills, like what do you put on that? Okay, you put on, do you have a driver's license? You put on, I have piano because I play the piano a little bit. I dance, I was a ballet dancer for a long time. Stage combat, I know how to do that. Weaponry, I was trained in that. Horseback riding, can you ride a horse? I can ride a horse quite well. So I put on that. I can roller skate, driving, automatic and manual. So if you have a driver's license, if you can drive, but you can't drive a stick shift, you would just put manual. But sometimes that comes into play. They're like, can they drive a stick shift? Because we're doing this special car and da-da-da-da-da. So you want to put that. As you can see, I also have knot tying and eye batting, which are kind of silly. Kind of silly. And special skills, you can throw in a little wink. You can throw in a little something that's fun and intriguing to them. You don't want your special skills to go on and on and on and on and on. You don't want it to say like normal things everybody else does, like teeth brushing, I can brush my teeth. You don't want to say that because who can't do that? But if you know a language, if you're fluent in French, if you're fluent in German or anything like that, you'll want to put that on there. Okay, dialects. You want to put what dialects you can do also in your special skills. As you can see, I have Standard British, Cockney, Irish, and American Southern. So those are the dialects that I can just do like that. That's how you do your resume. Now, let's talk about, let me see, what do I want to talk about right now? I want to talk about, I'll get to what you do if you don't have stuff on your resume in 1 second, because that's really important. But I do want to show you this template. So I've made this template for you guys. It's a Word document. You can go on the link I just put right above there. You can download it. So if your template is kind of weird looking, you don't know what to do, how to do it, just go ahead and download this. It's a Word document. You can type right in it, and it's all set up. You could just put everything in. And if you notice too, I have my website, or your website right here. If you have a website, totally put it on your resume, because they can't click directly on it, but they might want to check it out. And hopefully you have your reel on your website as well. If you don't have a website, but you do have a link to your reel, you can put my reel and then the link for that, because people can link on that and they can do that. And they might want to see your reel, and they might want to see also your IMDb page. You could put a link to that on there. As much information as you can that will be helpful to them is good, but you don't want to clutter it. Let's talk about font. As you can see, the font here is pretty tame. You don't want to do crazy wild fonts where you have curly cues and all kinds of stuff. Oh, somebody likes that I'm talking about fonts. Okay, you don't want to do anything that's hard to read. You just want to do a nice, like, Times New Roman. I wouldn't do Courier. Courier looks like the old typewriter. That looks a little too, I don't know, like a screenplay. Probably don't want to do that. Nothing that will draw attention. So Arial or Times New Roman, those are great fonts to do that. You could do something a little bit funkier, but nothing that will distract. Also, something that I have done in the past with my resume is I'll sometimes print it on a light color piece of paper, like a light purple or maybe a light pink. Usually it's a light purple, just just so it can stand out a little bit. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but it's kind of fun. Last week we talked about branding, if you remember, and trying to bring something into the audition that reminds them of your brand. And I like purple. It's not my favorite color. Green, emerald green's my favorite color. But I thought purple was a nice, calming, soothing thing to put my resume paper on. And I did that. Another question people will ask, do I need thick, heavy resume paper to put my resume on? I wouldn't. I don't. Because it's sort of a waste of paper. They're not really going to look at it that much. If you were doing a resume for like a corporate job and you wanted to really impress them, like you're interviewing for Goldman Sachs, I would do a nice heavyweight paper for that, for your resume. But your acting, you don't really need it because you're going to staple it on the back of your headshot. Let's talk about that. We're getting so realistic about, so logistical about this. This little document I have for you is set up so it's on 8.5 by 11 paper, normal paper, but you need an 8 by 10 for your resume. So this is set up that if you put everything in right here, you can just take your headshot and put it on like this. And then, as you can see, this little edge hangs over there. This little edge hangs over on this side, right here. You can see that. You just staple it on, and I like to staple it right here where you can't see the staples. You can't see staples really right there, right on the black part on your border. Click, click, take your scissors. Boom. You've got your nice, neat, tidy resume on here. It looks corny and cheesy if you go in there and your resume papers are hanging over the edge. So try to make it neat and tidy. Yes. Okay. Also, let's talk briefly about your resume when you send it via email. A lot of times we're doing self-taping now and they'll say, send me your resume. And you want to make sure that your resume title is neat and tidy. Don't let it say whatever, new document, da, 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 da. Have it say your name and resume on it. And that's it. So it would say Julianne Lichty resume, or current resume, or whatever you want to say. Probably just resume. The cleaner, the better. So then when I email that to somebody, they don't go, oh, what's this? The ABC document 17, 2005, what? They won't know what it is. You want it to easily say that on there. Also with your headshot, if you send a PDF of your headshot, also make sure that it's very clean. Julianne Lichty resume. Julianne Lichty headshot. That's what I do. Have that, and I have them all prepared. I have them on my computer so I can just click on them and send them. The more neat and tidy you are, the less loose ends you're going to have, and the more people are going to be impressed and not try to X you out because you have loose ends. You might also want to put a copy of your resume and your headshot on your phone. There's you can get the documents for Word. You can get the app for that. So then you can just send them a PDF right off your phone. If you're driving, don't do it while you're driving. If you're out from your computer and you need to use your phone and send it, you can just do it right there. All right, let's wrap up with, wait, we're way over time, 13 minutes. I usually like to keep it at 10, but this is important stuff and it's very technical. Let's talk about what do you do if you don't have a resume, if you don't have anything to put on your resume. That's kind of scary. You're starting out, you don't have anything to put on your resume. What you can do is you can put where you're training. You can put, I am training with so-and-so. So get in a great class. Get in a great class and then start trying to get anything you can for your resume that's decent, like student films, or you can do free things. You can even, if you want, you can even write your own stuff, shoot it, and develop a little production company of your own, and you can put that on there. Now, you don't want to have, My Productions Inc. for everything you do. You don't want to do that, but you can have a few things in that. So get out there, find people to be in their shows, to be in their plays. You might have to do things for free a little bit at first. But that's okay. If you even have just like 3 things on your resume, that's good as a start. You have a start, 3 things on your resume, and then put some nice education and training, even if it's a class or 2, and then, excuse me, and then some nice special skills. And that should do okay. And then keep working on your resume. Keep trying to get more and more stuff. That's it for acting from all angles. A very technical thing. Resumes. Let me know if you have any questions. Please check out this wonderful link I have for you with all these different resumes on it. And I highly recommend that you get a great format for your resume and use that. This is really easy to do. And make a little folder on your computer where everything's organized and you can just send it off. You'll look professional. You'll look amazing with your name and your resume up on all of your stuff. All right, rock and roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's have a little bit more of our fun music, which I love. I love this song. So we're going to play it. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for letting me share.